Just
Yeah, I mean, I think it was good. I mean, first off, let's start with this. This wasn't the standard of practice that we need to have to win games, and I was talking to the veterans after directly to them. There's a standard of what we do, and today it was sloppy. I didn't think we chose the right mindset to come and get it, and that's not going to win football games come Saturday. So I'm really hoping for those guys to respond, but I thought there was a couple of young guys that really continue to shine, and it's an effort and it's a mentality thing. On offense, it was Leighton Smithson. I think from the scrimmage, you look, a guy that's going to have an impact on special teams, and I think he's still going to be a deep ball threat. And another one of those wide receivers as we keep going, how can we get him the ball? And then on defense, it was Gavin Barthiel. I mean, I think he continues to show his progression, and I think he's a guy that really earning that we can count on him. So it's exciting to see those two guys shine today.
We talked, me and you talked last month about scouting and kind of the aspect you have of that. And one thing I keep meaning to ask is, how does it kind of differ, this department or this way you scout, from maybe what it had in years past? What's kind of the main difference from what it was before you took over as head coach?
Well, I think it's just a mindset a little bit more like the NFL. We have a personnel side and we have a recruiting side, which is more the Zooms and the showing them around and the phone calls and all that stuff. And then we have personnel people. I think Rob Schlager is one of the best young personnel people in the game, and excited to have him on our side and to bring him back here to Washington State. So there's a trickle-down effect with lead scouts and scouts underneath them. And, you see those guys every day. I get a sheet of them evaluating our people too. So I think it's exciting for them to be out here, and I think they're doing a great job.
Was it just a little more recruiting slanted last year, maybe more than the scouting side of things?
Absolutely. And I think as things keep stacking on the full-time coaches, I mean, you got to find ways to, spread that work around. And, I think it's an important part of what we do and finding the right guys, not just the best guys for our program.
Just noticed today at free safety, Sam was running with the ones, and then Jaden Hicks got in there a little bit. I know you've talked about getting Jaden cross-trained and still kind of trying to find that guy, but it was Shepard the first, I think 9 days at camp. Yep. What kind of sparked the change today for that?
I think Jaden had one heck of a scrimmage, and it wasn't anything those other two guys did, but I think more and more he's showing that we can really rely on, count on him, and just finding the right fit for each guy. And when we brought Shep in here a couple of years ago, we always thought he was going to be maybe a strong safety, close to the box, physical, blitzer type mentality guy. And I think as we see him grow and mature, which he really has, we want to fit it to his skill set. So you'll see him bounce a little bit more to a strong. You'll see Jaden bounce a little bit more to a free. But really excited about both of those guys are going to play a lot of football this year. Like, this isn't something, that's just going to be one guy out there like it was a lot last year with Isom and George. So it's going to be a mixture of all four of those guys playing serious reps, and we need all those guys.
Assessing the film a little bit more from the scrimmage, any updates or highlights you guys had in the film room on those position battles, or just kind of anything pop up in the film room?
I think the biggest one is Falili. I think he's really starting to grasp what we want him to do. And we're going to start finding to see if he can be one of our top 5 guys and what that combination is. So you saw him a little bit at guard today, and I think he can handle it, right, at limited more spaces, but he's a great athlete. And I think we still got all this time to work with him. He keeps getting better and better, but he has really jumped off the film to prove that he can be in one of those top 5 positions even when Make comes back. So we're excited about his progress, and it's much needed. I thought the one offensive line did a really solid job, and I think our 2 offensive line is young, and it really showed on Saturday. So really pleased with a lot of our playmakers on offense and going out there and making plays, and defensively, just our communication levels need to continue to grow. This offense really stresses you with adjustments, and one thing we don't have time for is maturing on the field. We got to mature this week, and I think that's what's going to be our focus.
So Falili has worked his way into the mix for
right now. He's in our top 5,
okay.
And we're trying to find the right combination. And when Make comes back, is he still in that 5? But right now, he's really proven he's one of our 5 best athletes, and he's getting better and better every single day. And I think that's an exciting place to be.
Is Hilborn cross-training a little at tackle as well?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, we're going to be putting some of those guys in different situations, just to find the right combination and to be ready for a lot of different things that will happen throughout the year. So, Grant can flex. I think we want to lock in Kingston and Make more at tackle and flex those guys to be a little bit less, experienced inside. So I think that's kind of where we're moving towards, of really anchoring those guys out there, and let's find the best 3 combination inside and help some of those less experienced guys limit the space.
We saw Schlenbaker out today. You have an update on him, and then maybe a timeline a little bit for Dew and Maake coming back. And
I think Javinsky did some little things from the scrimmage, that will hopefully, get him returning as we go. Then a couple of those other guys are back out in yellow jerseys. Some disappointing news. C.J. Moore will be out for the season on a non-contact injury in day one. And then Rod Talavea will also be out all season with a lower leg injury. So those guys will be having their surgeries this week. I was excited about both of those guys contribute to the football team, and this is part of the game, and we'll have to have some other guys step up and replace them.
And last thing, is it maybe fair to say that the edge group is the kind of strongest and most stable of the position groups right now, and also are D tackles perhaps the most improved position group?
Just focusing on defense, I think the edges is one of the most mature groups I've been around for a while. So I'm just excited about their progress and RJ and BJ being leaders, and I think the rest of those guys are following, and just really excited when we get Ram back. Because I think he provides something that's really, really different from the rest of those guys. And I think the D tackles are the most improved. And it's amazing just that COVID year, that extra year, and some of those guys getting to return again. They're just playing really, really well and consistent and very competitive. And I think that's exactly where you want to be at the defensive line.